Welcome back. We are Black and Curious. I'm Kendrin.
What up? What up? It is Dehjai. Happy Sunday. We didn't get to welcome you, but I'll say it.
Welcome me, welcome you. What are you having a cocktail today?
I actually have a little glass of Prosecco here on the side, but because it's allergy season here on the East Coast, your girl has been struggling. I'm amazed that I was able to put lashes on today. So I have a bit of tea that I'm finishing and then a little bit of Prosecco on the side.
Yeah, I'm also struggling. Full on itchy throat, the whole nine. So I'm having a hot toddy to assist me through this recording session.
Listen, I need to re-up the bar. I have no like brown liquor for the hot toddying of it all.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that soon because I'm like, damn, this is the season that I needed the most.
I am dragging. Okay, so you have our top. Well, if you've never been here before, sorry, y'all. Clearly, we're all over the place. If you've never been here before, we do pop culture, real life, and the cross section between the two. Dehjai has our topic for today.
Yes. So shout out to the girls of Getting Grown. If you guys are familiar, it's Jade and Dr. Kia. And they were talking about one of our favorites that we've kind of visited a few times here on the show, which is, I always keep her book right above me, Nedra Tawwab. So if you haven't gotten this book, it's well worth the read. She posted kind of like a review of your top of the spring, like spring cleaning for your mind. And so there's a couple of questions that we're going to kind of go through and kind of like pick questions for each other so that way we can get through this a little bit faster, because otherwise we'll be talking all day. Yeah. So would you like to start, darling?
Sure. I'm going to start with number one. What are you learning about yourself?
Honestly, I think we kind of had some of these conversations in the end of our reality recap where I was talking about like my new curiosity around sitting in my emotions and sitting in the emotions that are the unpleasant ones. Because for many years, I would just kind of avoid that. So like the biggest thing that I'm learning is that I can have these big, gigantic emotions and still be okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I like that. Awesome.
All right. So
am I answering the question too or no?
Nope, I'm going to ask you a different one.
All right, that's what I thought.
How did I manage to pick this one? How are you managing uncomfortable feelings?
How am I managing uncomfortable feelings? I think a lot of it is very similar to you, which is to say, sort of sitting with it. I've never been one to avoid uncomfortable feelings too much. Like it's a part of my personality that I can just lean right in. And just go through the ride. I think for me, especially, like I've been through a lot of kind of dark times, been right to the edge, if you will. So one thing that I do know is like I will be okay, and I have like the coping strategies. So I go on the ride. I think it's important for me to do that as well.
Honestly, one of the things that I admired about my friend for a really long time is that she was able to be like, yeah, I be crying all the time. And I was like, not me.
Oh yeah, I cry all the time. And it's like,
that's not something I access. I do now.
But I think it's funny because I think a lot of the reason why I cry so much in private is because I don't share so much in public. So, that's just a part of my personality. I'm okay with that. But like I said, I just go on the ride. The good things, the bad things, if it's bad, I'm like, okay. And also something that I've worked on over the years quite a bit is like understanding that tomorrow you get to make another decision. So you don't have to be down forever. You can ride the ride today and tomorrow be like, I'm doing this today.
Yeah.
And then you can say, tomorrow, I'm going to turn it around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't even have to be like something major. It's just like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to attack how to fix one of these issues, or how to, I'm going to work through some of this tomorrow. But today, I'm going to go into the depths of what I feel.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah.
All right, it's your turn, darling.
Oh, it is my turn. Okay, so, okay, are you doing anything you don't like and continue to do because you because you fear displeasing others?
Not anymore. I thought this question was going somewhere else. Because I was about to say, child, yes, going to work.
Well, yes.
But like, no, I go to work because I need to. And so like at this point, I'm displeasing myself from that. But no, like as far as doing things that I don't like that, I'm not doing that. And I think that has also come with the last like shift into this new year. Like this spring cleaning, I guess, of my mind. Like I'm becoming more aware of the things that I did and do to kind of self-soothe, but then at the same token, it's like it's not the things that were not beneficial I have cut out basically. In terms of like the self-soothing, like trying to make other people feel, which is like the empath's curse. If you know anything about like empathic people, like we try to get everybody in the room to be feeling good, as opposed to like acknowledging that the sensation that we're feeling is not of our own and we don't need to work through it. It's just a matter of recognizing that this is somebody else's bullshit and not absorbing that energy. Like I'm more capable and adept at doing that now than I think I have ever been in my entire life.
Good.
I have to pick up the phone. Duh, girl, pull up the questions. Okay. Are you forcing yourself to maintain any of your relationships?
Not anymore. Not anymore. I am in this interesting season of like kind of reestablishing friendships or establishing new friendships. So I'm in a season of like kind of letting people be where they are as well. And some of that means like, hey, I've reached out to you 5 times and I won't be doing that anymore unless I feel that you're reaching back to me or you're interested in maintaining this relationship. And if that means that I have to be lonely for a little while because I'm not having any reciprocal friendships, then so be it. But certainly not forcing that anymore. I think I'm pretty good about that too. Like knowing everything is, cyclical. Things are cyclical. And it's funny, I don't remember what podcast I was listening to, but it's just like, actually I do. It was Chris Hayes's podcast, Why Is This Happening? He had Call Your Girlfriend, that podcast, the 2 co-hosts on his podcast, and they were just talking about like, we're just in that season where life is difficult for people, we're working, people have careers, they're trying to like figure out what's going on with their careers, they're dating and or in relationships, they have children, they have small children, and it's like a matter of like giving people grace, but also like making sure your friendships are what you want them to be and being more intentional about that. So if I'm always very intentional about my friendships, they're really important to me. But if I get this sense that someone is not reciprocating that, I don't have a problem with taking a step back. And if they come back and it's like there's no hard feelings, like if they come back, that's fine. Like randomly one of my friends who here we kept texting or whatever, and she's not the best texter, I know that, and she also has a small child, and so like randomly she was like, we're getting together for dinner, so what is your availability this weekend? And that made me feel good, like, okay, she actually values this friendship, you know.
It's just hard, like you said. Like I think we have an episode on here, I think it's the mundane life, and we were talking about what life is like in your 30s and like your mid 30s, especially. Like early 30s, we're still kind of young, hot and popping. But like once you get into your mid 30s, it's just kind of like life sort of slows down a little bit. You're not going out and doing as many crazy, wild things because everyone is either coupled up or parenting or whatever the case may be. So, but yeah.
And not to mention, she made a really good point. It's like, you can't text message back and forth like, hey, we should get together. It's like, no, people are busy. Like you have to make a plan. or you're never going to get together,
Thanks.
It's like, hey, I have time this weekend. Do you have time this weekend? Okay, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, I literally have started scheduling like friend dates. It's kind of
you have to. Yeah, it's like, it's not, and this friend, Shouts out to you if you watch or whatever. But she and I actually met because we lived in the same building. She lived like 2 floors down. So
That's
it was
cool.
like, it was amazing. But it was like our whole friendship was like, what you doing? Like you want to go somewhere? I'm bored. Okay, I'll meet you in the garage. Like that sort
young
of
high
thing.
pop.
And it's like that wasn't, that's not a thing at this point in life. It's just not a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, is it me or is it you? I think it's you.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you feel your life aligns with your values? We talked about this a little bit on the last reality recap. We talked about it a few times actually.
Yeah.
Reality recap and with the Steve conversation from Married at First Sight. So I'll link that one above as well.
Yeah, I think I'm getting to the place of where my life is now in alignment. Alignment is something that it's a really, really big thing for me in terms of like personally, but also how I advocate for like clients that I speak to about figuring out what their home frequency is as it relates to their personal being and being at peace. And so I recognize that my homeostasis has kind of been a little bit, off because I've had some health things go on. And then now like having some more realizations about like the type of work it is that I want to do and what I'm doing that isn't feeding the alignment for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm getting there. I don't feel like I'm fully aligned, but I also believe that your alignment can sometimes be an ever moving goalpost because you're always learning something.
Yes.
You never stop.
Yeah.
And so you can get to a point where you're coasting along because you're in your homeostasis, but there's always a chance for something to kind of come and ripple the boat. And so you just have to kind of navigate the ripples. And so I think that's where I've been more so than anything else, is like navigating the ripples and doing it in a way that's most authentic to who it is that I am and how I want to show up in the world and in my relationships. But yeah.
Cool. That's a good one.
All right. Where are you spending the most time and energy?
I think I'm spending the most time and energy working. Not just like my 9 to 5, but like even have a 9 to 5. I have like 2.5 businesses on the side. So it's like I feel like I'm always working. I'd like to change that.
Yeah.
But, right. It's like that thing of realizing it's going to get busier before I have enough leverage on any of these things to like drop one.
Right. Totally understand. That's my life right now too.
Yeah.
So,
and trust me, I'm not a fan of grind culture. This is not a grind. This is not that at all.
I don't believe in
this
that.
This is very much a like, I'm trying to drop something as soon as I can, but right now I still have to like, keep everything going.
I also feel like too, like grind culture, you experience really heavily in your 20s because it's pushed so hard, like get through college, get, land the job or get through graduate school or whatever the case, and then on to the next thing. And I think that once you get to the stages that we are in life, like you realize like, who wants to be out here working themselves half to death and doing things that aren't in alignment or that you don't really want to do. And then when you look up, you don't have like time to just breathe.
Yeah.
Or have like,
I don't know. I think it's been a little bit different for me because I've known from like a very young age that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I've worked at that for a really long time. And unfortunately, I haven't found the thing that like makes me enough money so I can quit my day job. So that's what that's about,
I get
for me.
That makes sense.
So it's like, I don't want this to be my, my day-to-day life, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, child. All right, let's do one last one.
Wait, I think I have the one.
Oh yeah, that's you.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. What do you enjoy doing?
That's the conundrum. I feel like I was actually having this conversation with a coworker yesterday who's like, she's like 10 years my junior. And so we were just talking about like, you know, what you do in general. She's like, but you do things that you enjoy. Like, that's not working. I'm like, girl, like doing my business and then also like doing the Black and Curious stuff. Yeah, this is fun to a degree, but it's still work.
It's still very much work.
So
I don't.
like, and that's what I was trying to explain to her. Like, this is like dedication and putting in time to make sure that you get things done on time when you need to, like work. It's work, baby. Like whether you're having a good time at it or not, it's still work.
Yeah.
And so
And frankly, the part of it that is the good time, which is the us, getting on here talking, is maybe 2 hours every other week, and then every Monday for an hour. Like
yeah.
for the most part, like everything else is just work.
Yeah, like I say that like, you know, don't misunderstand, I enjoy what we do, which is why I'm doing it, but at the same token, like it's work.
It's work.
So like if I honestly am also at the point of like trying to figure out what things I enjoy. So like I've been looking into doing like the rentable bikes because I live like in a small metropolitan area. So we have like this, not city bikes, but we have it's a version of that. It's like RV bike. And so I'm set myself up to start doing that because I also want to make sure I get my physical health together as much as I can. And then trying to just discover other things that I used to enjoy as a kid that I just don't do anymore. Biking was like a huge part of my childhood. So I might even just go on ahead and buy me a bike. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten that far. I've looked at pricing for bikes and all that kind of stuff. But I want to make sure that I'm going to use it. So like, that's the biggest thing. Cause you know, you get home and you're tired. Like once you get off work, I'm like, I feel like work sucks the life out of me. And it's not that I'm doing anything difficult. It's just like, it's just taxing. So, but yeah. So get down in the comments, guys, and answer some of these questions.
Yes.
And they're meant to be journal prompts. So you most certainly can just kind of journal about them. I will see if actually I'll repost the questions onto the Black and Curious Instagram. You should be following us. If you're not, make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms and check out blackandcurious.com. And until next time.